Hey everybody, welcome back. This is kind of like the second installment of the weekly updates that I'm going to be doing for a little while. Um, yeah, I just wanted to talk generally a little bit about what happened this weekend. Everything was cool. Just a couple good stories in there. Where we're at with the album, which is exciting. What's coming up the next week, and then I wound up buying a guitar this weekend, so I'll show you a little bit about that too. Um, yeah, so first off, Tulsa on Friday, Maggie's was great. I really appreciate everybody who came out. It was a pretty fun night all night. We're going to be back there on June 2nd, so that's June 2nd, and we're looking forward to it. After we played Maggie's, the next day we were hit up by kind of a neighborhood, a kind of a newer restaurant in Tulsa called the Bourbon Street Cafe. So we went to go meet with those guys. They do some like acoustic shows and some indoor stuff and stuff on the patio, and they were asking if we'd be interested in playing. I think we're gonna wind up working something out. The manager was super cool, so I just wanted to say thanks again to him. He said he had a kid in the band, so he wanted to take good care of us, and their food was fantastic, and they gave us a really good deal. So shout out to the Bourbon Street Cafe, and then also shout out to the Guitar House of Tulsa. Um, Bought a guitar. I can't not spend money in there. It's kind of an issue, but yeah, it's cool. So I'll talk about the guitar later, like I said. And then in Dallas, we went down and played at Six Springs Tavern. We did a show with Rhonda Ray, and her band was great. Her songs are great. We talked to her. I think she's going to find a time to come up to Kansas City um, sometime, maybe this summer. But yeah, and we'll find a time to get back to Six Springs again. So we've thrown around a couple of dates, and hopefully we'll be able to get back there sooner rather than later. It was kind of a trip to play at Six Springs just because it's an all original venue, and so we play a really healthy mix of venues that some of them lean more towards cover stuff, some of them lean more towards original stuff, and having the pressure of playing all original music for a little over 2 hours and incorporating a bunch of the newer songs that we've been a little bit hesitant to pull out live because we're trying to save them up for the release. It was fun. It was a really fun challenge, and it was nice because it kind of gave us a boost of confidence that we realized a lot of the stuff worked as well as we'd hoped it would. So that was nice. And it was also really nice to see Ray Ewell. He drove up from Austin. Um, Ray built an amp for me that I got about a year ago this time, and it's really cool. It's kind of dumbly. It's like steel string singer ish, but it's like 150 watts, super clean. I think a lot of people have seen it if you've seen me in the last year, but it's the first time he got to hear it in person, like coming out of the cabinet. So it was kind of a special deal because he spent a lot of time and he builds really really good stuff. So I'm glad that he was able to see that and that he didn't ask for his amp back, you know. But yeah, we'll be back there as soon as we can figure out a date. So thanks to Six Springs Tavern for having us and taking really good care of us. And then on Sunday we played at Kirby's Beer Store in Wichita, which I haven't been in there for a while, and it was exactly like I remembered. And it was just fun. They let us just blast away and saw some friends that I haven't seen for a while, and everybody who was there was just really cool. So next time we do a run like that, if we can throw Kirby's back in the mix, we'll try to do it just because it's just so much fun. Um, yeah, so that's kind of how the weekend went. In terms of how the album's going, I think everything's pretty much done. Um, all of the online stuff is figured out. All of the physical stuff is figured out, at least for now. I don't think we're going to do vinyl like I talked about last week, but everything's ordered, everything's good to go. And I've got a pre-sale link for hard copies that I'll put in the description here and then in the Facebook post too. It's on our website, so all you got to do is just go in, and then we'll ship those the week of the release. So if you're interested in getting a online order, you can order them after too. It doesn't really matter, but if you're interested in getting that order in, we've got the link live and ready to go. And it was really exciting on Friday. Heard one of the songs off the new album on KKFI on Diana Lynn's show for the Tasty Brew, which I'm really lucky. I consider myself really lucky that I've been able to hear stuff on the radio. So it's still, but it's still like that moment and that thing you do when you get really excited, you know. And I was texting, you know, Jimmy and JoJo, and like, it's on the radio, you know. It's cool because spent a little over a year working on it and a couple of months really getting pretty detailed in recording and mixing it. So to be able to hear it come through speakers that you didn't make it play from your Dropbox files, it's a fun, exciting moment. So, but I'll be on the Tasty Brew in February. I'll be on a couple other KKFI shows. I'll be on Junebug's show, Wendy Mason's show, Scott Stanton's show, and John Todd's show. So hopefully we'll get. I'll put up more specific notices of when those times are going to be, and some of them will be live performances. Some of them will have Jimmy and JoJo with me. Some of them will just be me. It just kind of varies. But I'll let you know as those get a little bit closer. And then, so just to remind everybody, the album is coming out digitally on Valentine's Day. And that's a Tuesday night. So we're doing a very small, and when I say small, I mean 25 or 30 person show at Trividi Wine in Lawrence. Concept is, you know, we'll do this acoustic trio show. We'll play the album and some nice songs. Date night, wine inside for Valentine's Day. And apparently, the link went up into last week, and apparently other people think it's a good idea because we've sold almost 20 of the 25 or 30 tickets. So if you're interested, I'll put that link in the description below. Yeah, so I think that's going to be a hit. And then the big official release show we're going to do at Knuckleheads on February 18th. We're going to do it in the Gospel Lounge. And for anybody who doesn't know, anybody who might be coming in from out of town, the Gospel Lounge is a 75-seat room, and we've sold about a third of those tickets already. So please make sure you're getting your tickets in advance. We'd hate for you to show up to the venue and not be able to get in. But we do like it being the tighter 75-seat room because we like the energy in that room. I think it sounds really, really good. And we have a couple of special things planned for that show. So just please make sure that you get your tickets in advance. I'd hate to have to turn people away for that one. Yeah, just a couple other things. There's a couple of T-shirt designs and custom poster designs that are in the works right now. We'll have an album themed T-shirt that'll be available, and we'll also have a kind of a fun side quest T-shirt design that'll be available. So watch out for those. I'm gonna keep the fun one a little bit of a secret till we reveal it, but I think everybody's gonna like it. Anybody who's seen a live show is gonna get it. It's gonna be cool. Yeah. So the schedule for this week, it's the week of January 9th. So schedule for this week is Wednesday. I'm doing the regular BB's gig. That'll be Paul and TJ and Adam and I. Thursday's BB's with the Sean McDonald Band. Friday, we're doing the acoustic show at Big Booty Trudy's Cigar Bar in Salina, Kansas. So all the Salina people, get ready. Saturday, we'll be back at the Shamrock in Wichita, which will be fun. So Wichita people, get ready. And then Sunday, we're doing an acoustic show at Mort's. We figure we have the acoustics in the guitar for Salina, or the acoustics in the car for Salina, so might as well do an acoustic show while we're in town. It's like a matinee sort of show at Mort's Martini Bar in Wichita before we head home. So if it's too late for you, it's the Shamrock. You don't really have an excuse. So hopefully we'll see you this weekend. Yeah, and that's pretty much everything that's coming up for the next few days. So I guess I'll show you the new guitar. So what that means is I will pause this and I will come right back. So I'm back, and this is the new guitar. Doesn't it look cool? Yes, it looks cool. And it is a Duesenberg Star Player TV series, is what they call it. But it's really cool, and it was fun for me and sucked me in because it's kind of everything I like about the guitars that I play the most. So Recording wise, I use a Gretsch on a lot of stuff. I use a Strat on a lot of stuff, and I use a 335 on a lot of stuff. So this is kind of like a Les Paul body shape, but it's a 335 construction. It's a Fender scale length for anybody who cares. And it's got a Bigsby, and I'm a sucker for a Bigsby, but it's not just a Bigsby. It's this special Duesenberg trim system that's fully adjustable, and you can make it do whatever you want. And I've always had an issue with Les Pauls because I thought I feel like most Les Pauls for me, the neck pickup is kind of muddy. But this has a P90 in the neck pickup, and it sounds great. And the humbucker in the bridge, to me, it seems pretty low. It feels pretty low output, so it feels very similar to, like, almost in between a humbucker and a Filtertron, which is kind of exactly what I would need it to be. The other kind of quirky thing about this guitar, which is great, is the middle position. It cuts lows. It runs through a filter, and it cuts lows from the bridge pickup. So it kind of gets this quacky, almost out of phase sound, but it almost does almost a Jerry Garcia sort of thing too, which is kind of unexpected. It surprised me when I played it, but I mean, everything about it is just built super well. It sounds great. It sounds great through the rig. It was kind of terrifying because I bought it in Tulsa on Saturday morning, and then we drove straight down to Dallas, and I played it in the green room for a couple of hours, but I hadn't really got to like plug it in through the rig. Plugged it in through the rig and played it for maybe 30 seconds, and it was glorious. And then the whole thing just started cutting out. There was some electronics issue. I was freaking out. Not what you want, when you buy a new guitar. But so we're after a brief moment of panic after the show, decided to call Guitar Center in the morning on our way back to Wichita. And the guys, they put it on the bench. They went through everything. Everything is spot on. The only issue was there was an internal thing in the output jack. So this, on the inside, it's all like a set screw on the inside. It's just loose. It was loose. The cable couldn't make connection. It was bouncing around. They didn't even charge me to fix it. It took maybe 15 seconds once we realized what it was. Because I mean, I was on stage after the show. I had the pick guard out. I had all the wires. Like, I don't know what's going on here. Everything looks fine. Why doesn't it work? But no, we got it fixed out. It's great. Played it all night on Kirby's. So I think we're talking in the car. I think it's probably going to be the guitar for 2023. Famous last words, right? But it sounds good, and it sounds really good with the band. It mixes really well with the band. So, and it plays really well. So that's about as exciting as it gets. New guitar, sounds good. Fun gigs, cool gigs coming up. New album. All in all, it's pretty good. We'll see what happens when I catch you next week. So, see ya.